Yo, y'all already know what time it is. Welcome back to another episode of Thinker versus Speaker, where I'm Marissa the Thinker. Sit down with different guests and we talk about all things, anything, everything. Life, love, relationships, spirituality, literally whatever we want to talk about. So if you got a subject that you want to hear us talk about, you want to come on the show, you got a question, you want to hear me talk to a specific person about a specific thing, you know what I'm saying? Just reach out. Let me know. I'll give you all of my social media at the end. Now, with that being said, we do talk about any and everything. So sometimes we do talk about sensitive subjects. Take this as your trigger warning. If there are some things that you don't like to hear about, I don't think we're going to get into any of that this time. But if you're sensitive to certain topics, like I said, general trigger warning, do what you got to do. We respect it, and we hope you come back next week. So with that being said, I think that's everything I need to cover, and we can hop straight into it. This week's guest is another special one, and it's no stranger to the show whatsoever. We got Trey of A&O Movers back. How are you today?
Hey, what's up, family? This is your boy Trey L. Scott. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Trey L. Scott. I'm good.
Good. So what's been going on with you lately? I know it's been a while since we've been able to talk. So what's been new with you?
It has been a wild journey, man. From the time that I've spoken to you last, I think we started 4 LLCs.
Ooh, 4?
4 LLCs, and we're working on the 5th one, and we're currently working with about 3 or 4 non-for-profit organizations out of the metropolitan area of St. Louis.
Ooh, and all of that. Now, was that intentional, or are these things that just kind of like happened and you had to hop on them?
Man, it was like, a moth to a flame, man. People that see you out here, they're attracted to like-minded people. So I guess a lot of that accidental.
Yeah.
More or less, intentional. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how these things work sometimes. Like when you're on the right path, it almost seems like the opportunities just come easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? The opportunities come easy, and it's just a matter of discerning what's the right opportunity and what's not good for you. Because even like for me and where I'm at with it, what I've found is that when I'm not confident, the opportunities don't come. But when I want them now, when I'm ready for them, when I'm like, hey, I got this guy, give me what I'm here for, it just falls in your lap. It's almost like God's just waiting on you to show up.
Man, I tell people all the time, man, sometimes we ask and we pray on God to bring me this, give me the car, give me the job, give me the house. And you're not ready for that yet.
No.
You see the vision, but you ain't made ready yet for the vision yet. You ain't made the space in the room to receive the blessing. And I'm still working on that.
Yeah. So I completely agree with you. Do you feel like, now I say trust the process so much. I say trust the process so much because I feel like it's exactly what you just said. Sometimes things we want them, but we're not ready for them. And in order to get them, we have to be prepared for what it is that we're asking for and be willing to trust the process. So what are your thoughts on, when it comes to like when you want something and getting it? Like, what do you feel about the process?
Ooh, we talking about flesh and spirituality. A lot of churches tell you, trust God, put your faith in God, and trust the process. And I agree to that. But sometimes my flesh be like, Lord, you taking too long. My time, Lord, you said this was gonna be in this time next Tuesday at 8 p.m. and it ain't came yet, and now it's Friday at midnight, and I'm sitting up pulling my hair out my head and I'm crying. Like I said earlier, and I'll reiterate this, sometimes God puts us through a situation or a storm or a season for a reason, and sometimes typical storms only last temporarily. Sometimes, he's putting us through these things in these situations, these tribulations, only to teach us. A lot of these times, for me, I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
If I was the same person I was 2 years ago or a year ago, and I was trying to operate in the level that I am now, I was not ready for it. it took God molding me and taking me through my mess and my trials and my tribulations and everything that I had to go through in order to be the person that I am now. I wouldn't be able to be the person I am today. But a lot of trusting the process is also with timing. A lot of that is, you gotta put self aside and quit worrying about operating in flesh and worrying about operating in faith. So when you mean trust the process, it's hard because my flesh will say one thing and then my faith tells me to do another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's absolutely true. There was something that my uncle said on one of these episodes in the past where he talked about me being in the potter's wheel. He says this all of the time, and I'm not too deep off in the Bible. Like, I grew up in church, but I don't know the Bible like that. Like, I'll be transparent, but like, he always talk about the potter's wheel. He'd be like, "You on the potter's wheel? You on the potter's wheel? You in the fire?" He's like, you being molded, you being made, just trust it. He was just like, I know it hurt. It's hard. It don't make sense, but just keep going.
Yeah, what he say? We say God can take your dirt, turn it into clay. I'm saying, man, he can take whatever your past, your struggles, the mess you were doing, the dirt you were out here doing in the streets. He can use anybody. He can use anybody. If he can use me, he can use anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I say this all the time. Currently, we're working on a business consulting firm, and I'm offering free consult on anyone that's looking for advice on how to start their LLC, just to register, get started, business plan, looking for funding, capital to get started. Even helping funding people. We'll get into that later, but
right.
And I get so many clients that get into it. I heard God talking to me, but then I was having so many problems where people were turning against me. People were saying you're crazy for doing this, and families are turning away and they're getting upset. Their families are breaking apart because of this. And say, if God has put the dream in your heart and put the vision in your mind, you chase after it. If you feel wholeheartedly that this is something that God is calling you to, don't let nobody or nothing get in your way. He's really, really putting you on the potter's wheel, and he's taking all the dirt of your past and turning it into clay, and he's molding and shaping you into a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff, man. It's real good stuff.
It's very true. It's very true. And to piggyback off something else that you said, when you have that dream, when you have that vision, I was speaking to somebody a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about how when you have a purpose and you have something that you're here for. It's challenging, but the challenges are by design. Like, I believe that nothing happens by accident. Like, in my mind, God already mapped all of this out, and I just got to live it out. You know what I'm saying? I got to trust him, and I got to live it out. Like, right? So when it comes to pursuing my path, of course there's things in the way. Do you expect them not to be? Of course there's going to be things in the way. And
he knew the plans he had for you while you were in your mother's womb already. He already seen all the obstacles that were in the way. But what the Bible says he says he knows the plans that he has for you, plans to prosper you, to not harm. Come on now.
Yes, exactly.
Seen it come over your house and pass over your house. Come on now.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And some of the things, like, when you want to help other people, one thing that I was good for is I want to help other people heal. But I didn't understand that sometimes your impact can be greater when you work on yourself.
Right. Oh, come on now.
When you're trying to heal everybody else, you got your hand in everybody else's basket, and you just giving until you ain't got nothing else left for yourself.
Having this conversation. Come on, speak on it.
Yeah, and it's just like, and you give everything that you have away, and you just like, oh, you teaching everybody else how to heal, but guess what? You got pieces missing because it's some healing you didn't do. Because you're so busy trying to get in everybody else's basket and show them how to do it. I've made a greater impact working on myself. When I stopped trying to fix everybody else's life, and I started fixing my own, I started leading by example. Man. And that has that's had a way bigger impact in my life when you just shut up and you focus on yourself.
How can you pour into anybody when you're empty yourself?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And it's not selfish.
It's not selfish, but I mean, you're steady pouring, and when your cup becomes empty, you no longer have anything to pour into anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to get fed. You got to be the one, you get full, and when your cup start running over, then you just spill into other people, and other people start spilling it into so on and so on. But how can you pour into anybody else when you're on E?
Yep, absolutely. So that takes me to the next thing. So you say you got four LLCs going on 5?
And we're working on a 5th one.
Okay, so what are you doing exactly?
I can give you some.
Can't give me everything. I already know. Yeah.
So I'll tell you the biggest one we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We already got established and up and running. And besides the one I just mentioned earlier about the business firm, consulting firm. The 4th one we started, and you've seen this, and it was on social media just a week ago. We had that Facebook group called God's Business Plan. And this is how everything really blew off for us. Is that we came together and we wanted to be around like-minded people.
Yep.
And we wanted to be surrounded around people that had the same mindset as us, and it was on the same goals and visions. And they wanted to be hungry for not only God and God's plan for their life, but hungry for making a change in their community, and hungry for just, creating generational wealth and starting their own business, and, and really just, being their own boss. And I wanted to, have a group of friends and, just people that were going to be on the same page as I. And, in this industry, in this business, you have got to surround yourself with people that are as thirsty as you are.
Yep.
I mean that. As hungry as you are. And so we got together, and I told Dominic and Derek that I was like, all right, well, we want to figure this out. I want to do something major that's not only going to help our companies and, but that's going to help everybody else, support everyone else. Because we were looking into starting a expo or hosting an expo. And I was like, man, every other expo, business expo that's here to support small businesses are ripping off. They're charging you $1,200 just for a booth, or $600 for a booth. And a lot of these people that are just starting off are still working 2 jobs, man. I do it now. I go to work, and then as soon as you get off work, you're working your second job, and you're managing that. And then money's mixing into each, because you got to pay for something for the business, but you got to pay for it out of your personal funds, just because and a lot of people that are starting these LLCs don't have the funding right out of the gate. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I'm coming into it with nothing. I'm hungry, but I'm coming to the table with nothing. I'm hungry, but I'm coming to the table with nothing. So the ideal came from the fact that we wanted to be around like-minded people. So we decided that we were going to do an LLC called Emerging Business Leaders. With this LLC, we founded 5 members. One of them was a close friend, Donald James. He's Donald. And, brother I work close with now, Rashid. Don't let me mess up his name. He brother graduated from Langston, not the real LU, but one of the
yeah.
He does well on our graphic designs and most of our uniforms for our companies and several of our LLCs and business cards. And man, the dude works magic, man. And I tell you,
I've been looking for that too.
This brother works magic, man. I mean, from logo design to labeling, to T-shirts and shirts and hoodies, and I mean, just the works. You need anything with your logo on it, it's there. He got it.
Okay, we need his info.
Yeah, I'll give it to you after the show.
All right.
Dominic Tice, another founding member, Derek Wilson, and then so on and so on. There's a lot more. There's another couple founding members, myself included. And so, and I got another friend from Lincoln. I call her Polka, but I don't really call her. She has her own business as well. So we took together and we formed this LLC with several business owners that were like-minded like us, and that wanted to change in their community. And we decided that come November 4th, so you're hearing it first here, St. Louis, East St. Louis, Fairview Heights, Belleville, St. Charles, Columbia, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois, wherever you at, if you're in the Midwest area, November 4th, we're hosting our first ever Emerging Business Expo. And so we already got about 25 vendors. We already got a venue, and we're working on a couple more other surprises. We got about four guest speakers, panelists. We got a lot of stuff. Excited for this.
That's awesome.
The focus and the goal of this expo is to help expose small business owners and small businesses and help support them. The purpose and the goal of this LLC was to help small businesses and help expose these business owners to, funding, capital, support, help, whatever they need, business writing, grant writing. We was so many ideas in this room full of just leaders flooding out about, hey, I have troubles with my business here. What payroll system do you use, or what point of sale system do you use to receive payments and invoices, and how do you operate with a business plan, and how do you get funding, capital, or grants or loans better, or what bank do you use? These are questions I hear every day.
Oh, I need to get with y'all. You asking questions I got right now.
These are questions I hear every day. And so we wanted to put everybody in the same room, all just do all our networking, get all these 25 vendors and businesses all in the same room, and we wanted them to have this big blowout of networking. So not only will be a expo, but it'll be a health expo as well.
Health expo too?
Yeah, we're going to focus on mental health issues. We're going to have a couple counselors there, and they're going to have booths and stations up as well. A couple of vendors that are going to actually focus on, Black wellness and health and wellness. Man, we're going to blow this thing out, really, man. This is like what we used to have back in St. Louis downtown. We used to have the Black Expo.
The Black Expo. Yeah, I remember that.
Every year. And you would get all like the small businesses that used to be around, St. Louis County and South County and all that, and you'll see them and you're like, man, I didn't know you were here, and I would love to come out and try your restaurant. Well, we want to do it, and we want to make sure to invite everyone out. Invite your mama, cousin, invite your cousins, friends, and we want to make sure to support all our small business owners. We want to make sure that we show them that we appreciate them.
Yeah,
we show them that you are loved and that you are supported and that you can get funding. But this is part of what we're working on. So that's just one LLC. That's one big cup besides the 4 other LLCs we're running.
Yeah.
After that, we're working with about 2 non-for-profits. The first non-for-profit we're working with is out of Columbia, Missouri, and they're called Peace. Specialize in actually youth development work from at-risk youth in mid-Missouri, but they also specialize in rehabilitating ex-cons into society. So they're looking for jobs for ex-cons. A lot of our LLCs offer on-the-job training and development for ex-cons. Out of that actual non-for-profit, we actually hire them on and do mock interviews, run them through mock interviews, and we do on-the-job training as well. We teach them hard skills and soft skills. It's one.
I was gonna say, now what drew you to that particular aspect? Like what?
That had to been God, really. Best friend Chris Perry, he reached out to me. He said, "There's this brother I need you to meet. He's really interested in what you're doing and the work you're doing, and he wants to get on and see if he can bring on. And his name is Julian. And he wants to get on and he wants to see if he can help. And I'm actually sitting on the board of that actual non-for-profit now. So yeah, I'm helping a lot with that. I'm full hands-on with that as well. He wanted to get on, and he said, I'm interested in all the work you're doing in Columbia, and I want to get some guys on, see if they can help you and get them hired out and get them some jobs. And that was it. From there, we came rolling. Julian came on. I got to meet a couple of guys, got to talk to them, and we're rolling from there with that as well. And then another non-for-profit.
Yeah.
So many. There's so many. We started a charity For the passing of my brother. We're starting a scholarship funding foundation for him. My brother passed to gun violence not too long ago, probably over 2 years ago. He was shot and killed in front of LA Fitness in Texas. I mentioned it on the last episode. And we started a non-for-profit. When my family went through that tragedy, we found that it was so hard for most families when losing a loved one, especially being so far away from home. We were about 16 hours away from home. It was such a hardship to find help and funding at that. And when tragedy hits, no one's ever prepared for it.
Right.
You know what I mean? No one's really ever prepared for it. And so we wanted to start a foundation that was going to give scholarship or a funding to family members at need or at risk of funding. You lose a family member today, God forbid, and you're traveling and you need help for a hotel room or help, for the funeral or, help to transport the body back. That's what our scholarship and foundations are really focusing on. Is those families that are in need and are at risk are really trying to, they're struck with tragedy and they need funding and help. We're focusing on that. As we realized there were so many unsolved cases and murders that are similar to his with gun violence and black on crime. And the numbers are increasing. There are so many out here that are without mentors, black men that are not teaching these young brothers and guiding them the way they should. I was just having this conversation. I have 5 mentors myself. My mentors were the first one to teach me how to tie a tie. How to talk to a woman. How to stand straight and straighten up your gig line. And 5 of them. But the reason why the incarceration rate is increasing, the reason why we're seeing so many of these young brothers are constantly getting locked up, and the reason for the increase in violence and crimes is because there's not enough people doing the help. I'm not saying there's none, but there's not enough people out here that are actually giving back and actually trying to mentor and teach, reach out and lend a hand. And there's not enough. There's only so much that one person can do as a mentor, but we need more mentors, especially for black men. Black men, are you hearing me?
Absolutely.
Right? You need more black teachers, but there's not enough.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. So we started that foundation, and it was really the focus on trying to lean towards getting funding for any of those that was affected by tragedy, unexpectedly. So yeah. There's a couple more that I can't mention and talk about yet.
Oh, you already know. You already know. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just can't speak on it until it's time to speak on it.
Right.
Absolutely. I feel that. And to even piggyback off one thing that you said, I don't want to deflect too much, but it's actually an important conversation that I want to have at some point. And it's a conversation that I want to have with a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, to talk about the role of manhood in our society. And I think manhood is something that gets talked about a lot on social media, right? Like what a man is, like what a man does and all of that. And it's just like the conversations that I hear aren't substantial. Some are, you know what I'm saying? Some are. But like some of the arguments for what manhood is very surface level. God. You know what I mean? And it's just like I want to have a conversation with a man that understands manhood, because I do feel like there's a gap there. You know what I'm saying? And women have their things too. Everybody got their things. But it's just like, I think black men, it's clear that black men are missing the mentors, right? Because
come on, don't get me wrong. Ladies, y'all have so many resources. And brothers, but there's so many, right now in the industry, black women are probably the leading in corporate leadership, in entrepreneurship, even in when you look at teachers and educators, you see black women. When you look at white collar jobs or anything like that, you see black women, you see women, and the brothers, we're not standing up.
Yeah, y'all need support.
We're not standing
and guidance, proper guidance.
But the brothers are, where are you?
Yeah.
Real man at? The real man, stand up.
And I feel like that's what we need, right? Because I'm so sick of hearing people say like, oh, real men. No, that's not true. Real men are literally out here doing the work, but we are distracted by the ones that aren't. You know what I'm saying? We are distracted by the ones that we aren't. So we need to get the voices of the men that are about that manhood, so other people can see, like, okay, this is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? This is where it's at, because
that's another episode.
It is
that Hollywood and society paints the picture of the black men. Prime example, Jonathan Majors. If I see another news report about another black man in the social media, in the spotlight, and how they're de-imaging the image of what it means to be a black man. They're demonizing what it means to be a male.
Yep.
And for black men, it's already hard enough in society. We have to sit a certain way, speak a certain way, and lower our tone, and we can't, when we're young, they teach us, never ride forward to a car deep, or when you stand up and someone's speaking to you, stand up straight and never slouch, or never, raise your voice, or don't never shout immediately or do large gestures, because it may frighten someone.
Right.
It's hard trying to be a black man in today's society. It's even harder trying to be a black man, a black male, and there's no help. There's no teach, there's no one to guide. The struggle is real. There's no help. Now, I'm not saying there's none, but I'm saying there's
enough.
We need more black male mentors. We need more male mentors. We need brothers that are willing to step out. You ain't gotta have a master's degree. You don't have a PhD. You don't need that. You need to have a willing heart to step out and say, I see problems in my community. There's a problem in my community, and I want to see change. They say it all the time, be the change that you want to see. But brothers, we're sitting here and we're seeing these young brothers waste their life away. We see them getting behind bars day in, day out. They stealing these cars left and right because they ain't nobody, daddy ain't at home.
Yep.
What do? You know what? It's the ongoing cycle. So they remove the male from the household and he's the head of the house. So you put them in jail and put them behind bars, and that's all they know.
Say it.
The image of a black male now becomes the image of a black male behind bars. This has been an ongoing cycle. This is new to us.
Yeah. And that's how you get the masculated woman.
Right.
That don't need a man. We going down a rabbit hole. We just going out there.
I didn't want to go too far into it, but this is what my most of my LLCs and most of my non-for-profits and some of the organizations that I'm working with, this is what we specialize in. This is what we're aiming towards and gearing towards. We need to help our black men, not only just our black men, but men in general. Because
helping the black man is gonna help the black woman.
Right.
That's how you heal. That's how you heal the black family. You have to. It starts with the man. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm a lesbian. I can admit it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can still admit it. Black men are important. And that's how you heal that black family. Because even though it's just what I grew up with, a father figure. You know what I'm saying? And I understand how important that role is. It's so important. And not having it affects more than just the child. It affects everybody. Because that's a layer of support and just, you know what I'm saying, energy that's just missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the black man is a king. Like, a black man is a king. Like, like, black men are powerful. And it's just like, I don't even think that some know how powerful they are, because if they did, they wouldn't act the way that they act. But they act the way that they act because they didn't have the proper guidance.
They are blind. They're blind to the powers they have on the inside of them. What God has placed already on the inside of them, that He has for their life, they're blind to it. And what's even worse is because they don't feel loved.
Mm-hmm.
Let's speak on it. So if we want to be real, let's speak on it. Black men carry chips on their shoulders. Black men don't feel the love that they need to feel.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know, it's hard to get a black man to go to a therapist. It's hard to get a man to talk about his mental health. It's hard to get a man to talk about his feelings and how he feels about this. But you know what happens? We let society beat us up. Tell them we can't be this. Tell them we can't do that. We'll never be nothing but like our daddy, and we'll be behind bars or somewhere, or either dead up in the streets. And so that breaks his mind. That breaks his confidence. That breaks the man that's on the inside of him. And so what happens is...
let's go. I'm with you.
The suicide rates increase.
Yeah.
The brother that just passed that was dancing on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Twitch, right? Yeah.
Right, yeah. Increasing. The Green Power Ranger, Jason David Frank. Suicide rates are increasing, man. And you would never know. You would never know. They will be just the happiest, full of bundle of joy, and light up the room when they walk in, but you would never know what somebody's going through. Suicide rates are increasing amongst men. But man, we have got to learn to open our mouth and talk. We got to seek help. We got to seek counseling. We got to seek therapy. Ain't nothing wrong with seeking therapy. Let's get that out of the way. That is that stigma that has been sticking around the black family. What goes on in this house stays in the house. No, you need to talk about what happened.
It's not healthy.
You need to talk about what happened. Somebody did something to you all those years back, and you just burying it and sweeping it under the rug. Told your mama, and your mama told you not to say nothing, and it stays between us and it stays in this household. You need to talk on it. But what happens is you begin to build broken people, broken adults.
Yep.
Broken adults raise broken children.
Yes.
So now we're talking about a generational curse.
That's why it is where we're at right now in society. That's how I feel. You can see that we live in a broken society because it's been going on for so many generations. I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, I just got past it. It's just it's been going on for so many directions. You know what I'm saying? They started breaking up the black family in the 70s with the drug epidemic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now 40 years later, you know what I'm saying? 40 years later, those people that grew up with a father, like it's so many people walking around that just haven't matured. You know what I'm saying? They haven't matured. They haven't healed from those wounds. They haven't done that work. And you know what I'm saying? It's like we got stuck. So now people don't know how to deal with their mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to blame everybody for everything. We ain't taking accountability for our actions. We ain't improving our communities. We want everybody else to do everything for us because we walking around with that chip on our shoulder like somebody owes us something. And it's up to us to fix that.
This is not only talking about mental health. You're talking about breaking generational curses.
Yes.
You're talking about stuff that has been happening for generations that have broken down families.
Yep.
Turned down families. And so when you talk about not only just the mental health issue in the side of it, removing the black man, then you're talking about removing generational wealth.
Yep.
Come on now, we talking about our money.
Yep.
I tell my crew, I got a crew about like 11 guys that I work with right now, most of my LLCs and most of my businesses, and I'm mentoring them. And I tell them all the time, what I'm teaching you, I don't want you to come on and work with me and earn just a paycheck, but I want you to learn. Because when I'm teaching you, you can pass on. So whatever I have here, I want you to be able to build this structure and take it somewhere else. And you do the same thing that I'm doing and you implement it there. And we're not doing that. We're not telling people, hey, come on, work for me, do a 9 to 5, kill yourself for me, kill over, have a heart attack, get a paycheck and then go home. And we're not teaching our community. We're not teaching our young black men. I tell these boys all the time, I say, hey, you can take this and you can run with it. Because when I'm gone today or tomorrow, my legacy is this. What I teach you, you pass it on. We're not just building and funding for tomorrow, building, earning a paycheck or earning money. I'm not looking just to do that. I'm building generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, my kids, his kids, and everybody that's attached to my name. See, that's the problem. People just want to be blessed, want the blessing just to be meant for them, and that ain't what God intended. God intended that when He blesses you, He blesses everything and everyone that's attached to you. So if I'm blessed, my brother's gonna get blessed, and then he gets blessed, and everybody that's attached to him, from his girlfriend to his friend to his best friend's friends, everybody's gonna get attached to him. So what I'm planning on doing with most of these LLCs and and these C corps and these non-profits that I'm working with is that I'm creating seats at the table for everyone to get to eat. So if one eat, we all eat, and that's the Black community. Is that we remove that ideal of that thought of family, the structure, and this is what we're talking about. We're talking about the structure of family. So understanding who the head of the household and the wife and the support system and the kids and the children and their roles, and understanding this and building this generational wealth. We're removing that ideal, and society has misconstrued what it means to be family in America. And so I want to create that for them. I tell my guys all the time. I say, man, what I'm teaching you, I want you to pass on to your children. I don't want you to come on and make a paycheck. I want you to learn how to operate your own business, so you can take it and you can run with it and do it somewhere else. I want you to learn how to manage your employees and how to run meetings and how to do payroll and how to I want you to learn that. I don't want you to say, I need you to go and lift this and move that and just clock out and you're good to go and see. I do that now for my job.
Yeah.
I'm making money for somebody else's. I want that. I want you to make your own money. So I want everybody to eat, man.
And it makes a difference too, because it's crazy how God works, like, in my life, because I feel like He put me in certain places at certain times for a reason. And the place that I used to work before I started working now was like a major retailer, right?
Yeah.
And it was like one of those things where it's just like I was a manager, so when you a manager, they act like they need you 24/7. You literally on call. It could be your day off and they'll call you and be like, where are the keys to, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no balance. There's no, you don't have no time for your family, like none of that. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember it was one day where I was sick and I was working there, and I'm just like, I had a sore throat. So I'm telling these people, it's like, hey, I got a sore throat. I never call off. Never. I don't ever call off. So it's just like, I'm telling these people, like, hey, I'm sick. And like, these folks arranged it so I could work for 5 hours. And I'm telling them I'm literally sick. So I'm at work, I can't even talk because my throat has swelled shut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I legit got strep. And I'm like, and these people got me working. So I go to the doctor the next day and she's just like, yeah, you can't go back to work for a week, buddy. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the only way I was going to get the time off, right? So fast forward to now where I work for a smaller company. I remember when I broke my ankle. I go and I call off to work one day. I say, hey, I sprained my ankle. Because that's what I thought it was. Black people, you know what I'm saying? We'd be like, I'm going to just put some ice on it and it'd be all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would put some ice on it, it'd be all right. I survived. So I was like, yeah, I sprained my ankle. The next day I was just like, it ain't getting no better. I need to go to the doctor. I call them. They say, hey, do what you got to do for you. So I go to the doctor. I get an X-ray. They're like, yeah, you broke it. Not only did you break it, you're gonna need surgery. Like, yeah, they was just like, this ain't no regular old break. They was like, if you would have broke that bone on that side, you would have been all right. You wouldn't have had to do it. If you would have tore that ligament on the other side, then you wouldn't have had to get this surgery. But you did both. So you need this surgery. So, so I called my job and I'm already thinking in my mind, like, I don't want to do any of this because it's just like, I don't like taking time off. I like making, this is an inconvenience. So I call them and they're literally like, go to the doctor, take care of yourself, and just let us know what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Don't, you know what I'm saying? They literally are like, take care of yourself.
That's
Do
a
you? Yeah.
That's a blessing, because most jobs wouldn't care.
They would not care.
Most
They
jobs
yeah.
and will replace you.
Not only did they not do that, they didn't make me do disability. You know what I'm saying? We just used my vacation time that I had. You know what I'm saying? When I ran out of vacation time, they let me make up the time. They never gave me a problem whenever I need to go to a doctor. When, you know what I'm saying? Because I had to have 2 different surgeries for this one break. So I had to take 4 weeks off, and then I had to come back 6 weeks later and take off another week, you know? And it's just like, they never gave me a problem, none of that. It was literally like, take care of yourself. And it creates a completely different environment.
Work environment.
Yeah.
It makes you. I was having this conversation with somebody about that, about the type of leadership, and the difference between a leader and a boss, and work environment it creates. And I was explaining that to one of my guys on a job today, and I was like, "Hey, man, as a leader, you're wanting to inspire people to follow you, and most places don't understand the difference between the two. For as a leader, I'm inspiring you." And as a leader, when I inspire my people to follow me, they're going to want to do whatever. By any means necessary. But as a boss, I'm just managing and moving you around like pieces on a chessboard. And I'm telling you to do that and do this, but I'm never motivating you or never, encouraging you or giving you words of affirmation. I just really want to just utilize you until I burn you out.
Yeah.
And that's what most jobs are doing. They're burning out our people.
And they can't understand why people don't want to work for them.
Right. Over it. And they found they can get paid without having to work. Oh my God.
It changed things.
That changed a lot. People were not working for a year or two. People going back to work, right?
Because why? You know what I'm saying? It was never a mystery to me when COVID hit and then people didn't want to go back to work. Why is that a mystery? The you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, and I'm not gonna say I don't know people lives, but a lot of people are walking around doing a job that they don't enjoy. Yeah. They do 2-3 of them just to make ends meet, and they're literally making ends meet. They're not thriving. They just work to live. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. So people already don't like what they do. It's miserable. And no phones, no talking, work as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? And the incentives that they give aren't good incentives. We don't have healthcare like that. Healthcare ain't that great. You know? So it's just like, what am I doing? I can't afford to live, rent high, gas high, foods high. I'm doing jobs that I don't like. What do I have to lose by not going back to this bitch? What do I have to lose? And a lot of people got to that point, and it's just like, this is not a mystery. This is not a surprise. You either gonna have to pay people more, treat them better. It became an employee's market.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the actual American economy is beginning to fall.
Absolutely, I've noticed.
The value of the American dollar has decreased and declined.
Absolutely.
I mean, the cost of gas, the cost of living it's never been this high. Never been this high. I mean, minimum wage is now about like $16 an hour or so.
Yeah.
Crazy to me, because my people out here making $16 an hour when I was back working 10 years ago trying to make $7 an hour work.
Yeah. When I was making $16 an hour, I thought I was top.
So now you got people that are coming out of college that are graduating with bachelors and masters, and they going in the workforce making the same amount of money as somebody that didn't went to school for 4 years, which I'm you for. But then what was the point of college?
I just said it in the episode I did with my dad.
What was the point of all that money?
I keep saying it, and I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person, but I just be seeing stuff sometimes. And it's just like, the way that we going in society is getting to a point where we gonna have to have just one big wake up call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's 100 years later. The Great Depression happened in the 1930s. Where are we?
I mean, other countries are ahead of the game, years ahead of us. You go over to Switzerland, and their taxes includes, the man and the woman getting fertility leave. And then not only that, then you pay for your college experience out of your taxes. And
This
you
isn't
don't,
sustainable.
come on, what? What are we doing?
Our society is not sustainable anymore, and it's not even competitive. It's not competitive. It's getting to a place where it's almost getting to a place where, you know how we got the Democrats and the Republicans. Well, the Republicans done went their way, and I'm not gonna talk about them.
Oh,
But
Lord.
it's just like with the Democrats, we got the progressives, and the progressives can't quite tip things. You know what I'm saying? But it's getting to a point where it's just like I'm looking and I'm just like the progressives might have some wiggle room in the next couple years, because we need all of the things that they talking about. Because right now it's like we talking about healthcare, we talking about, it's just like, I mean, it's getting to a point where if the majority of Americans can't afford to live, you gonna have to do something.
This is where, this is where I wanted to emphasize on them, and it's circling back around to basically the whole topic. This is the season. This is the age of the. This is the best time you can say forget it, because you have that gap in that wiggle room right now where you ain't been working for like 2 or 3 years because you had COVID and you had relief, and your job laid you off because of COVID and you guys were out of work and you've been at home in the house for about a minute.
Yep.
Jobs that are online, work from home, you can get certificates from Google on how to do this and learn how to teach yourself on Google how to do that and start your own business.
Yes.
Go into working for yourself and make your own money, and and build for your and you can start this so easily. A lot of this stuff is on
Yeah.
YouTube. A lot of this stuff is online. You can learn this stuff, and we're coming to this age where you can be working at McDonald's as a fry manager with a bachelor's degree, making almost $17 an hour. McDonald's is hiring $17 an hour with bonus. Taco Bell, $18 an hour. I remember that being almost like what, $40,000 a year. That salary was insane to be thinking like that's the average salary.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of living has gone up dramatically, and it's insane. And so this is a time now for people to get into it and say, hey, I want to go into business for myself.
Yeah. And not just go in business, but find something you're passionate about. Don't just do anything.
Yeah, I'm not saying just don't do anything. Now, yeah, find something that's gonna make you happy. Do what's gonna make you happy. I was telling somebody the other day, a lot of entrepreneurs don't say this, and they need to say this a lot more. When you're doing your own business and you're going into entrepreneurship, tell people all the time, man, there'll be some droughts. There'll be some days where, you'll never get any funding. There'll be some days where you'll never make any sales. There'll probably be 2 months or so you make never any sales. I talk to people now that, that have been having struggles making sales and making ends meet, and they would have to go DoorDash or Amazon Flex, and
Right.
wrong with it. You do what you have to do by any means necessary. As long as you're hungry for it, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
But there'll be some days, but as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't give in, as long as you remember that the goal is already coming, the blessings are already on the way, you just got to stick through it, keep your head down low, and just keep pushing forward, that it's going to be working out for your good. God has already intended that everything that he's claimed that was yours, he's put your name on it. It is coming to pass in this season. All you have to do is make ready for it.
Yep.
It's on the way.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You know what I'm saying? It is. And like, with that being said, so like, how do you stay balanced, like doing all of this stuff? Because we saying it, and it's just like you go out, you start the business, you know what I'm saying? You have the ebbs and the flows, because you have your good days, you have your bad days, but when it takes off and it goes, now you going, you know what I'm saying? You got to run with it. So how do you stay on top of it? How do you stay balanced? How do you stay yourself in the midst of all of this?
So I'll say this. I'm not alone. I'm never alone. Never. I say that to say you've got to find yourself a circle. And I said this before on your podcast. Get you a group of people that are willing to go to bat for you and are willing to, so you won't have your back against the wall and it looks like there's nobody in your corner. I have a group of people with me. My people got my back. Some days I'll forget some things and forget. Like, yesterday we were supposed to shoot. We were supposed to, do the episode yesterday. I was like, oh my God, double booked. I'm so sorry, Lord, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person. I'm so ambitious and I'm so ready to jump on the next thing smoking. I got this meeting and I got to schedule this, this consult, and I got this meeting with this person, this phone call to take, and then I got to go ahead and call this person and make this booking and schedule that. And then I go about like 10 meetings a day. And sometimes it requires my girlfriend to be reminding me of things.
Right.
Derek will have to get on there like, Trey, don't forget this, and Trey, you forgot we got to do that, and I told you this, and I was like, no, you didn't. I texted to you, but to have, I'm blessed to have Derek in my corner. I'm blessed to have my brother Juwan. He's back down from Texas. He moved back down to Missouri, and he's helping running things now. Get your people, man. Get you a tribe, and your tribe is gonna be there. And you got to make sure, it's a check and balances.
Yeah.
I need somebody to check me. Some days I might be wrong on something, and I misquoted it and I messed up, and I need somebody, tell me that I'm wrong. I'm not always going to be right, but I need, to check me. And you need the same thing. Get you some people in your corner that ain't gonna be no yes man, and they're gonna be able to, willing to check you when you're wrong and call you out on your mess.
Yeah, and it's important. And another thing to like when it comes to when you saying like I'm never alone. Actually, when you said I'm never alone, my first thought was God.
Yeah, that's always.
Because in my particular journey, see, I'm at a point, I'm building the circle, right? You know what I'm saying? I've been isolated. Like, where, you get to that point of your process where he's just like, all right, we gonna work on your discernment right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was isolated, and now it's just like, now that I'm popping out, it's just like, okay, now it's time to build the circle. We worked on your discernment. So like now, let's build that circle. And in the midst of finding that discernment, what I had to learn is that no matter what, I'll talk to God. So like if I'm having a day, that's almost like God has become my father and my best friend. Because it's just like if I get off work, I'm talking to God like that's my best friend on the drive home. Like, okay, so today was and here's where we're going, and you know what I'm saying, and I ask the questions that I need to ask, and I ask for the guidance that I need, and I give thanks for the answers that I got from the day before or the week before or when I prayed 2 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'll do that, and it's just like, when you build that relationship with God, see, if you don't know God, you don't see how he's working in your life. But when you build that relationship with God, you can see exactly when, how, and where he's working.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
Because you'll ask for something and he'll be like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Might be a week, might be a month, might be a year.
And sometimes it'll be like, you don't even ask for it. Mm-hmm. Where God will provide and you didn't even know you needed it.
Absolutely. And that goes back to the process, right? That goes to the process. There have been things that I've prayed for and genuinely wasn't ready. And this is how I can see God working in my life, because all of those things that I prayed for and I thought that I didn't get, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, no, I'm going to get them. I'm getting them. I'm reaping right now. I'm in my reaping season, so I'm reaping now. But the reason I wasn't reaping back then when I wanted to reap was because I needed that one lesson, that other lesson, that one experience. I needed, you know what I'm saying? There were things that I needed along the way that he knew I needed that I didn't know I needed yet. Yeah. So now when you face trials, it's just like, all right, you get me ready, huh? This must be a good one. This must be a big blessing about to come. This is a hard one, God. All right, where we going? You know what I'm saying? Like I had put out a episode today about the school shootings. You know,
Yeah,
I talked to my
I
cousin.
listened to it earlier.
Yo, yeah, okay. I appreciate it. I hope you liked it. But like I talked to her about school shootings, and it's just like when you talk about a subject like that on social media, it's kind of difficult because you know it's certain words and things that you can't use.
Yeah.
Plus, it might be a slightly controversial topic. So I get an email and it's talking about my content is violating policy guides or something like that. And I get it on my phone and I go check my email and it's nothing in my email. And I'm working, so I can't really deal with it no way. So I'm just like, you know what, God, if you know, I know you got me. We gonna figure this out. Like I ain't even trip. You know, I ain't stressed. I ain't nothing. I'm just like, oh my God, what? Nah, it was none of that. I was just like, hey, you got this. I ain't even gonna trip off of it. So I go check my email later. It ain't in my email. I said, let me go check my spam. It's in the spam folder. It wasn't a real email. I was just like, all right.
Don't be
Yeah, I'm sitting up here. I'm going in the creator studio. I'm doing research. I'm like, what I do? Like, you know, I'm trying to figure out what I did. It's just like, oh, this is spam. I was about to stress out. You know what I'm saying? But instead, I said, God got it, kept my cool, finished my shift, and then checked my email. You know what I'm saying? But in the past, when I didn't have that relationship like God, like that, I was like, I'm gonna quit. It's too hard. Nah, that's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. It's almost like you have to have a faith system when you're doing this. When you get this far out in the unknown, I don't know how you can get this far in the unknown without some type of faith and some type of higher power somewhere.
Because there are gonna be some rough days, believe me. There's gonna be days, man, when you really questioning, is this what I want? Like, Lord, I prayed on it, but like, Lord, I don't know if this is really what I want, what I need. Maybe I can do my regular 9 to 5. And that's right. I'm like, man, God, like you did that.
Yep.
Like that wasn't you. And when I think of the goodness of the Lord and how He brought me through, you can't do nothing but like break down, man. And sometimes I feel like I'm in my room, like, Lord, thank you, and I'm tearing up. And man, I knew it was you. Couldn't nobody else got me through that. I dodged the car when I was drunk and driving home, and I shouldn't have been driving, but I was driving anyway, and I got it, and you know, the bullet that missed me and barely grazed. Like, no,
yeah,
hit that, but God, man, brought you through them relationships you thought you were never going to get out of.
That part,
toxic traits, all the abuse that you admit. I mean, couldn't nobody did it but God.
Okay.
Come on now, it was nice.
Okay.
Lord.
Come on.
You was gonna lay your head. You don't know where you gonna get your next meal from. But it was God looking and guiding you and organizing every step. Every step you've taken and everything He's guided you to here has been purpose and design. And it was designed by Him. And He's known from the beginning the plans He had for you. Come on now. And that's what entrepreneurship is. That's exactly what it is. And that's what I've been guiding people from these last few weeks. With all I've been doing, all the work we've been doing out here in the week. I mean, we're in the streets with my team, all the non-profits, man. We have been guiding them into just reconnecting with God and faith and understanding that He's got you. I don't know what situation you're going through, no matter what it looks like, no matter who's in your corner. I don't care. All I know is I know the answer, and it's G-O-D.
Yep. I was gonna ask another question, but I think I gotta know when it's time to say when.
Yeah.
Cause that's a good note. That's just a good note to put the mic down. Man, it's a good time to put the mic down. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I was not this person 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was not this person 2 years ago. That was nothing but God working in my life. It's probably people who thought they knew me or knew me. Let's be honest. It's people that knew me back then. And they'd be like, nah, she ain't like that. Because you know how people can be. They'd be like, nah, I knew her. Nah, she ain't like that. That's how I was.
Judge you for your past.
Yeah. That's how I was. Yeah, I could smoke you down. You know what I'm saying? I could smoke you under the...
Yeah, come on now.
You know what I'm saying? I got the best pearl in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? In time, that's not the whole of who I was. That's who I was then. That's not the whole of who I am. And I wasn't fully walking in my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Until I met God. When I think about all of the things, I made a post, and I can say some things with confidence now. And that's because of God, because of this relationship that I got with God, because of the amount of trust that I have with God. Off of this journey, I can speak things and be like, I already know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I could be single and it's just like, I already know what my person is going to be like. You know what I'm saying? I already know, because it's just like, I know why he put me through all of this. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have met this another thought that I had too. I was never going to meet my person on the path that I was on. I would have never met my person on the path that I was on. Why? Because my person is a star. And so am I. So how am I going to get a star if I don't ever reach for him?
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So it's just like, if I don't ever reach for him, how I'm going to get it? I'll never get there. I'm going to be dealing with wherever it is until I decide to step in my power. And it wasn't until I cried out to God for my own purpose. Why am I here? What am I doing? What am I walking this earth for? You know what I'm saying? And he's just like, you know, and in that moment now, and I'll be real transparent, it's just, at that moment, it's just like, God, if I ain't got no reason to be here, I don't want to be here at all.
Yeah.
So tell me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's a different type of hurt. That's a different type of hurt. It's like, I don't want to be here at all. So either show me why I'm here or just go ahead and do what you got to do with me, because I can't go back. It ain't nothing in the past that I want. So like, what is it? And then that's when it's just like, all right, you ready to walk in your purpose then? Because I know how to get you what you want, but you got to be willing to step up to the plate and get it. And it takes you getting to that point of being like, you know what, if I don't got that, then I don't want anything. So then you willing to do exactly what it is that he needs you to do to get everything that you want. That's when he gonna start giving you the blessing. When he gets you there. So you can't be scared of the dark. You can't be scared of the pain. You can't be scared of unknown. You can't be scared of none of that. You just got to be ready to step. When God says step, you got to be a part of his team. Cause then you become one of his leaders. And then if you one of his leaders, then you got a guide. You really got to be ready to step. And that's that entrepreneurship thing. You know what I'm saying? When you an entrepreneur, how you gonna run a business if you looking for everybody else to give you the answers? You can't. That's your job.
Look, man. You better speak. Look.
Yeah, that's whole job. That's your job. You know what I'm saying? You looking for somebody else to have it. And nah, if somebody don't show up to work, who got to do it? Y'all system breakdown, who got to fix it? You know what I'm saying? You need something to get done, who gonna figure that out? My assistant ain't gonna do my job. I gotta do it.
Like I said, man, like, I love your show. I enjoy it. I listen to every episode. Every chance I get, I'm driving on the way to work, I'm listening.
I appreciate it.
All your content. It's good because it's needed. This show is needed. You know what I mean? Especially, for home. You represent the home and the hometown. And we don't got too many shows out here like that are doing that. That are speaking out about your experience from where we come from, in North County. Talking about how things work for us and how we need to fix our own community and fix our own problems and the problems we're facing here, and it's needed. I create that platform.
I appreciate it. I do. That's all I want to do. All I want to do is help people think, and I learn things. Like, I love what I do. I want to show other people how to love what they do. I was sitting up last night. I had 3 hours of sleep the night before, 2 hours of sleep the night before that. And I'm still sitting there tired, eyes half open, talking about I love what I do while I'm editing. You know, you know what I'm saying? Because I do. I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? Even just to have that conversation with my cousin and understand, like, oh, that's why we was getting dropped off that way at Riverview. That's why the bag checks was so. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to get the breakfast. I didn't care. I didn't care about the act of threat. I didn't care about that.
Oh Lord, didn't even realize it.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, why are we in these colored uniforms? It's just like, as an adult, that question of who are you and where you belong, actually, no, that's an important question now. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of things, and just realizing the types of communities that we did come from, and being in a position to actually do something. Let's do something about it, and let's holler. I'm sick. You know what? I got to a point. I gotta shut up eventually, but I got to a point where I was sick of watching reality TV. And the reason why I was so sick of watching reality TV was because I got so tired of seeing us in a negative light. It felt like it was the only way that we get seen is in a negative light to everybody else. So if we continue to perpetuate these stereotypes, how are we ever going to change how we perceive in society?
Starts with us. You've got to be the change that you want to see.
Yeah.
Starts with us.
So I'm gonna bring on the entrepreneurs. I'm gonna bring on these small business owners. I'm gonna pull on people that come from exactly where we come from, because you know what I'm saying. It's just like we look up to the superstars, the celebrities, the this, the that, and it's just like, nah. Let's look up to your neighborhood market owner. Let's look up to that person with that corner store. Let's look up to that person with that tech business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let's look up to that black doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what's where they clothes? What's where they designs? Right?
Right. Exactly. Let's rock with them. Because who's celebrating them? Because that's the real success.
Yeah. Let's really talk on it. You know, that's a whole nother episode, man.
We gonna get there, but I appreciate you coming on today. I really do. I love any time that you come on here again. If you ever want to come back, let me know.
All the time, man. I'm a fan, man. I'm number one.
Yeah.
I'm a fan all the time. I appreciate
you
having me on. I love this. I appreciate allowing me to express myself and all the things we're doing in here in metropolitan area of St. Louis. I love it. Appreciate you. Love you. God bless, man. I really enjoyed it.
Man, I did too, and I love and appreciate you too. I definitely want to get involved with the work that you're doing. That expo, I gotta be there. So you know what I'm saying. Like at this point, like I of course it just makes sense. It just makes sense. So you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get with you so I can get involved, so I can help you. Make sure that I'm there myself.
Expo November 4th. For anybody, I'm telling you, we're talking about anybody in the metropolitan area, St. Louis, East St. Louis, Fairview Heights, Collinsville, you name it. Columbia, Missouri, Kansas City, you name it. I got people flying in from New York. We got guest speakers coming in, millionaires speaking. People that have funding, over $2.6 million funding. They're waiting to allocate these to small businesses that are coming to this expo. We have, the help. We just need you. Yeah. So November 4th, anybody, come on out.
Let's do it. And if y'all looking for Trey and his businesses, let them know where to find you.
That's going to be Trey L. Scott. That's on all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And sometimes they call me the TikTok preacher.
All right, yeah. Oh, did you want to promote the cleaning business too? I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. We just started another LLC on the cleaning business, B&K Cleaners. Yes, you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, let's get it. We want to make sure we don't miss nothing. We don't want to miss a thing. And if you're looking for me, you can find me at Marissa Y17 on Instagram, TikTok sometimes, and Marissa the Thinker on Facebook and YouTube. And then you can find Thinker versus Speaker on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Yep, that's where you can find us. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. If y'all want to hear me, got anything y'all want me to talk to Trey about, If it's a different subject that y'all want to talk about, y'all want to come on the show, hit me up. Let me know. I'm all down for the conversations. Again, I love what I do. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, put other people on so the show can grow. It has been growing. I appreciate all of the new followers, subscribers. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. And, you know, if it's nothing else, Trey, I think we can go ahead and get up out of here.
All right. God bless. Family, God bless you guys. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Bye.